In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of the Lord moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul.
And since this time of primordial existence, mankind has scratched and clawed his way through obstacle after obstacle, achieving the impossible, conquering the insurmountable, soaring to heights untold, defying the odds, refusing to quit. Mankind has dared to stand atop mountains that claimed they could not be climbed. We have built great structures that have said they could not be built. We have reached into frontiers and found galaxies that said they were unreachable. We are never content with the basic. We are never satisfied with the mediocre. Only one truth remains. Mankind hungers for greatness. We long for the precipice. We will never settle for the lower experience. We grasp for the ungraspable and dream the impossible. We search for glory. We search for fame. We search for love, acceptance, and success. But why do we have this intense need to search? Because it is built and programmed within every man, woman, and child, a gaping hole, an intense feeling of incompletion. There is an undeniable yet unattainable appetite found within every person on this earth. There is a missing link, an absent fulfillment, an unsatisfied longing. This is the God-sized piece that is missing from every heart. Yet we still search to fill it. We fill it with drugs. We fill it with pot. And we think, maybe I can smoke the pain away. We look for answers in a pill bottle. We search for love in toxic people. We invest our lives in parties and alcohol, and careers and aspirations begin to overshadow our lives. And yet we still search, but we come up empty. But why? Just as our parents give us our inherent traits, so also does our God pass on traits to humanity. To imagine, to create, to anger, to be jealous, to protect, to love. But the greatest common denominator is the need to search. You see, you weren't created by accident. You were created by an intelligent, loving God who loved us before our mother's womb embraced us, who made plans for us before we ever heard his name, who endured our betrayal and our absence, but loved us in our ignorance and in our stubbornness. He loved us in our iniquity, and just like us, he could not settle for the mediocre. He refused to watch us from afar. And so he chose to wrap his spirit in flesh and face our weaknesses head on. With his own plan, he invaded earth. With his own hand, he calmed the seas. With his own feet, he traveled through the dusty streets of Jerusalem. With his own voice, he silenced the wind. With his own command, he called the dead to their feet. With his own touch, he opened blinded eyes. With his own eyes, he gazed upon the sick. With his own words, he forgave those that whipped him. With his own back, he bore our lashes. With his own brow, he was crowned with thorns. With his own blood, he purchased us. And by his own power, he raised himself from the dead. He said, I have loved you with an everlasting love. He said, come unto me, all ye who are weary. He said, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. And finally, he said, take my yoke upon you. He tenderly asked, take up your cross and follow me. So take a moment. Evaluate where you fit in with this grand scheme of things. Where exactly do you fit in as a member of mankind? You must be pursuing something. and He is pursuing you. The only question is, are you pursuing Him?